Candy Crush clone with Redux. That's what I'm converting right now from React and Redux to React and StateAdapt. Here it is. And here's the first problem. Is this supposed to be happening? Actually, this repo was uploaded just a day ago, so this might be a work in progress. I'm not sure this is supposed to be happening. I haven't played Candy Crush very much, but nothing's really changing. So should we be firing 15 actions per second? I don't know, it's kind of weird. We're already at 1700, so it seems kind of weird. Well, here is where that happens. This right here, this timeout in the app.tsx inside a use effect. So this is updating its own dependency after 150 milliseconds, so it's a loop thing. But look at this, 2 dispatches in a row. That's not unidirectional. Anyway, there are a few things I want to do in this project before I actually start converting anything, because when I save, formatting changes drastically. So I'm going to go ahead and drop a prettier in this project and put, commit some cleanup first, and then I'll start converting this. Here's something else I'm cleaning up. I'm so tired of working in projects where there's a special store folder and it's not organized by data type. I want things organized by feature, not by technology. So I have changed it. I made a board folder. I'm going to move the board component over there. I'm going to get rid of the components folder. You're going to look at this and you're going to see, oh, there's app file, app component, and then stuff dealing with board, and then stuff dealing with tile. That's what I'm going to do. Yeah, so right now though, I'm looking at this and it says formulas. This is where formulas are. So what formulas? And the function name is formula for column of 4. Okay, what does it do? Functions should be named after what they do. So I'm looking at this. Board size, so you get the square. So the area minus 3 times the length, and then minus 1. What is this doing? This is kind of strange. And then here we've got is column of 4. So I have to look at where it's being used to know what it's doing. But now we just have this random function call, is column of 4. I would expect this to return true or false. And instead, it appears to be mutating something. New board, probably. Yeah. Is column of 4. If, here's the if. What's the board size? Why does every have to be this? Huh. Well, it does return true. So that's cool. Man, this is confusing. Also, this formula of column of 4 is apparently being referenced as a number here. But it's actually a function. And so this is the return of formula of column 4. I think this might be a points thing. No, I don't know what this is. Formula for column of 4. Formula for column of 3. I don't know. I don't know what's happening. But I think I remember why this has to be a loop, because if you get a match, you get new things that come down, and those might match as well, and then it has to keep going until there are no more matches. I think that's how this works. Okay, I think I get this now. If it's a column of 4, you don't need to check for matches starting at indices that are beyond the second row, right? I think that's what, whoa, okay. Beyond, well, the fourth to last or whatever. So that's why you start this sets the max. So what they're doing is they're starting here. There's a better algorithm for this, but it doesn't matter. But they're starting up here and they are looking through match, or they're each square they're checking down 4. And they're checking down 4, 4, 4, 4. They're doing that for the next row. And they're doing that for the next row. Doing that for the next row, all the way down to here. So they do the entire number of squares, and then they subtract 3 rows, and then an extra one. And yeah. So they only check, so the last they check is here. So they go from I equals 0, and they check every single one of these squares. And then for each of these squares, they check below by 4 to see. Yeah, there is an easier way to do this, but I do like this type of problem, this algorithm problem, but this isn't what this video is about. Yeah, that's right. That was pretty cool, though. That's more satisfying than the actual game. Anyway, I stopped the server. That's why that happened. But so now that I know that, where do these functions belong? Actually, more importantly, what should I rename these functions to right now? I think I will call this get last index for column of 4. That kind of sucks, but at the same time, it's better than formula. So, yeah. Obviously, this is generalizable. So, maybe I just call this get last index. If it's 4, obviously minus 3 times, and honestly, this should be here. No, yeah. Right? No, that produces a very negative number. Oh, it's just minus 3, right? Yeah. And then here it'd be minus 2. Okay, those are all changed. So now you notice the only difference between these is this number right here. Are they all doing the same thing? Here we're looking for a column of 4, column of 3. Here we're looking for move below. So we're just checking if something can move below. But it seems similar, the idea that you're checking the number of spaces below. So if I can come up with a good name for this abstraction, then it's a good one to make. But these might be better as separate functions because this is fundamentally a separate concern. Unless I can come up with a good name for the abstraction that actually is the same concern as also, because it also kind of feels like the same concern because it's checking how much. It's like finding an offset based on a padding number. Okay, I renamed that. Check it out. Get last index for offset. Let's put the offset there. And for a column of 4, where their offset is 3 because it's 3 from the last. And for column of 3, look at Copilot. It gets that this number created a 3 and this number created a 2. That's what it gets. That's really cool. And so I added the prettier, but then the formulas, I think this should probably go with the board stuff because that feels like the same concern. So I think I'll put this over there, but I'm going to make a few commits just so that the git history is nice and smart. Because if you do git move and changes at the same time, it's not smart enough to realize that you didn't create a new file. At least GitHub isn't. So, all right, some cleanup here. Just made the function, or just called that offset instead and got rid of some of the unnecessary types. So, yeah. Nice. Looks nice now. Also think I'm going to call this erase. Column before. Yeah. There you go. Now you know what this is doing. And there's the offset. Seems kind of, I don't know, it's not that inefficient to call this function many times, I guess. So for the row, I'm assuming this is the same thing. Generate invalid moves. Why do we want invalid moves? I guess to check against, but anyway. All right, let's just look at this. Okay, so you do need a minimum of 3 in a row or column, whichever, in order to get stuff erased. And here they're just hard coding. Instead of the 3 versus 2, they're doing true versus nothing, because it's called is4. Yeah, so that's funny. Okay, and so they're checking if it's 4, then you push that an invalid move is the index and 3 to the left. Or 2 to the left. Well, and then for both of these, when you're at the end of the row, both -1 and -2 are also invalid. Well, so they also had the same function for a column of 3. Probably not necessary. It's probably could be consolidated, but I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just going to rename things so it's easy for me to understand. And this was just such a low-hanging fruit that I had to do that. But I just named this to get invalid row moves. Moves. That's not a really good name. Moves? More like get invalid row matches. I think that'd probably be better. Probably. I don't know. Do they use that? Match. Where did I see that word? I guess that's my own thing. And this kind of bugs me, this true here. I'm going to pass in 4 and 3. And this makes it more generic. Oh, also, that is unnecessary, but let's see. We'll call it offset as well. 3. We're not going to do default. Offset. If offset equals 4. There. That just feels better to me. Some repetition, but that's good. Things that are similar actually look similar now. Is that offset? Not really. I'm going to call it 3. If offset is 3, yeah, now they match better. And I'm not using a different concept for offset here and offset down here. So, okay. And I will definitely be changing this. I don't like dispatching a thing here and a thing here. This whole timeout is one thing. I think I'm going to call it, it's going to be a source because it's an event. And I'm going to call it board change debounced, something like that. Because this is clearing interval, so it's debouncing, not delaying. So yeah, I like how down here they didn't at all type these things. So I think they learned after writing that first one that they don't need to actually type everything, that inference works. So that's pretty cool. Okay, so rename that. Okay. Also, I think I should rename these as well. Erase row of 4. Let's do that. So we got 4 and 3. Let's save that. 4 and 3, 4 and 3. Nice. So it turns out there are a couple of reducers where I needed to update because of these name changes. This one was a big one. I don't know why this is here as well. Seems kind of weird. Oh, they named it this too. Oh no. Is a column of 4. These are all actions, I think. There should be a reducer here, right? Create slice. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Wait, this is all in here? This is inside the reducer function. Oh, it's return. Okay. Okay, so it's checking and erasing if they exist. This is the same thing that was happening up here, though. I guess this was just after 150 milliseconds. Same state change, though. This is going to be a good opportunity to really reduce lines of code. The reason these weren't together before, I assume, is because they happen at different times. So, yeah, this is a problem with imperative code. When you're affecting things that are elsewhere, this code that's changing the things, it's in 2 different places, so you don't realize that it's repeated. Maybe. I mean, you should have realized this was repeated, but anyway, it's more obvious when you have 2 things next to each other that are like, we're changing this, and they're changing the same thing, and they look the same. Yeah, this should, yeah. I have a feeling when I figure this out, it's not going to be logging 47,000 times. Yeah, so it's time to commit these changes, but real quick, notice here they've got hooks and index.ts, but they're doing the same thing. But like, I don't like this separation of hooks. It's already obvious they're hooks because of the prefix use. So this should, honestly, these components, they should just be importing from store, because this is a store hook. It's for using the store. Yeah, and that's unnecessary too. Okay, well, yeah, I'm going to move some store files around because, I haven't done this really before, but I wanted to work in a project with the right folder structure. And yeah, so I want to do it this time. It's a small project. Seems worth it to me. So actually the top level reducer in this is the feature slice. So maybe there isn't a store file at all. Maybe I just directly import in app.tsx. Where is reducer? Slice. No, it's got to be main. Oh, index. Okay. Yep. Store. So I'm going to move the store and I'm going to call it board.slice because this is a small app. It's not surprising this entire app is just one state slice. So, yeah. Okay. Guess that's how it's going to be. Never mind. They got the reducer here. Candy Crush reducer right there. Okay. All right. So this is not Candy Crush. This is the board. I guess this is the board, but I mean, look at that. That's derived state though. Also, it's a little weird. This is an element instead of an index. Huh, yeah. I really like this separation actually, this board slice. It's now, yeah, we've got the main global store stuff here and the slice in the board area. And I'm calling it board slice now. So is this used to generate selectors? I bet it is. I will pay the consequences of that rename later. That's okay. I don't really know what this does with Redux Toolkit. I don't know. But I have a feeling I'm just going to inline these into this file because they are changing this state right here. Yeah, what do they do anyway? They change the board. Yeah, so they seems like it should be in the, yeah, they both change the board. So yeah, definitely fits in with the rest of the stuff. So both of these right now, cut and paste. Hey, look at that. That makes sense that where you're importing from is related. Okay. Oops. Okay. Writable. Where did that go? Here we go. Writable draft. Immer. I haven't really ever used Immer. This will be a first. So I wonder if combining the hooks with the store was the best idea right now, because the component is going to be using the hook. And so it's going to be up here in this folder, importing from store, but store is importing from this folder as well, but the slice. So I don't know if it creates, I don't think it's a problem, because in here, if you import, well, here would be a problem, because here's where you would probably want to import or export the use board slice or whatever, if you were to create hooks for specific things here. But yeah, so these are kind of global. These are very, very global concerns, but they do have to import from the store. So either way, if you were defining them here, it'd be a circular dependency, because you import, you define extra hooks here, but no, you don't ever have to, because these things are importing from the slices, right? Because this is importing from the slices. So this is a top level thing only, I guess. So it's okay. I'm going to do something crazy here, but I don't have to split tile into a separate folder. What is it using? I mean, it's such a simple component. I'm just going to put it in the same folder as board. So it looks like everything's in board. Kind of makes sense. But if there end up being more and more things with tile, I mean, nothing else is going to depend on this except for board, unless it's like a diamond shape where you got like, sub components that end up both having tiles in them. But anyway, they're just going to go on board. Well, the app built successfully, but what is this? I did something wrong. Out of all the stuff I did, something was wrong. I am shocked. I actually did a lot of things, so maybe that was a little too ambitious, but the consequence isn't too bad. I just have to figure out what happened. What is this? What's happening? It's not doing move below. That's the thing. It's not doing move below. Okay. That is weird. Huh. Well, this is why it's dangerous for me to do these projects that are games, because I just spent 45 minutes playing this. And there's not even a score or anything. Yeah, this is why I avoid games. Anyway, so I checked out the original commit before I did anything, and there are a few bugs. But at least it fills in the gaps, so that's the thing I need to figure out. But it's late, so I'm going to carry on tomorrow. All right. Well, I'm back, and I've got some even cooler DevTools crashing to show you. Just kidding. That, it turns out that happens no matter what. But let me show you what the bug was. This was the bug. I had moved this up to here for some reason. I don't know why. I don't know how it ended up there, but it works now. I've been playing it for like 45 minutes. It's buggy, you know? It's like not even that great. I mean, look, you can do that and then like random things disappear. It's kind of weird how it works. But yeah, it's working the exact same as before. I know because I also played it for like 45 minutes last night. So, all right, well, first half of the video is done, and well, this is just a bug fix. So I will commit this, and then I will start actually restructuring things. Okay, that's committed, and now I will start restructuring things with the state management, because this is as if two events are happening, but there's only one event. And they're both imperative. So, and it could be declarative, I think, because it's like a self, it's like a cycle. So, all right, what order should I do things in? I think I might end up creating a diagram for this just to show the data flow and how it's different between Redux and StateAdapt, or at least this way of doing Redux. But I think for now I'm just going to convert it. So I'm just going to try to do a straightforward conversion. Yeah, I'm going to kind of filter out, like, in my mind, ignore all the logic part, the logic code, and just focus on the data flow. I think that's what I'm going to do. Well, the first thing to do is going to, oops, I need to do yarn. First thing I need to do is add these. Yarn, add. Okay. Oh yeah, I need RxJS too. I guess that's pretty common. Okay. All right, now I will have these nice new dependencies. Where did core go? There it is. That was weird. Next, we need to add the context. I'm just going to completely swap out the store stuff now. Well, I had to save this without formatting because I would have changed it. But anyway, so this is how you do it. Adapt context provider, default StateAdapt. Import both of those from StateAdapt React. It's pretty easy. And this seems like as good a file as any to do this stuff. Oh, you know what I need to do? I'm going to test Copilot. Let's see. React cheat sheet. There we go. Now click on this. And I've got a bunch of reference stuff here. All right, so now I'm going to do const. Look at that. Not cheat sheet. Let's see, default StateAdapt. I think that works. Okay, could have been better. Maybe it's because I didn't put the export. Let me see. I don't think it has memory, but it's getting thrown off by this cheat sheet. It doesn't know how it's supposed to be used. Look at that. Pretty good. Well, it looked at the import, so I don't really know. Anyways, better than it was without the cheat sheet. So hopefully that worked. Now let's see. Oops. Oh, dang. Okay. I lost the, nope, cheat sheet is right here. What happens if I get rid of the imports in these examples? Oh, I don't have any. I don't think. No, I do. Yeah. Good enough. Okay. So that's what this file is going to become. I'll erase it just because I can just look at the diff for reference. Huh. I'll keep them separate. I guess I am switching right now. It's okay. So there goes the store. Goodbye, Redux. Okay, next is to use these things. So board.slice. Reducer, we've got state and no action. So this actually, I don't even have to touch this. This is just a simple state change. I don't think StateAdapt's going to have a problem with whatever you put in for state. I know they had to do like a plugin to get rid of their serializable state check. If people are going to do that, what's the point of the check? But gotta know what you're doing, I guess. But most developers don't. Okay, drag and reducer. So another state change. Okay. Initial state, that seems easy enough. Why isn't there an interface for this? We actually need an interface for this. State equals. So try that for a bit. I don't think that really affects lines of code, did it? Let's see. I think it added one, but whatever. Okay, here's the interesting part. Board.slice. This should determine, I don't know exactly what it determines. Store was adding it before as here. So that's where it got put in the state path, even though who cares? So I think this just goes into the action names, but anyway, so I'm going to call this, let's see, export board store. Okay, now we're going to let's import RxJS cheat sheet. Hey, that is not a very great suggestion. These are not great. Oh, I haven't opened the file yet. Okay, let's see. I'm getting used to this. All right, so now we got 2 sets of good examples here. So hopefully this now knows. And if I get rid of that and clear the import, I guess. I don't know. Import there and initial state. That's not too far off. It's a little closer. Still not good enough, man. Well, it's gotta, come on. Board. Well, whatever. Maybe I should create the adapter first. Core cheat sheet. I hope this actually works. Should have examples here of creating adapters. So let's see what we do here. Create adapter. Nope. Didn't get it. Okay, so we're going to have drag end and drag start. Wait, what? On drag end. Oh, move below and drag end reducer. Okay. What do I actually call these state changes? Wait, are they not using? Oh, that's drag end. Okay. No, that's drag end. That's move below, right? Okay. So move. Wow. State. Oh, it needs to be a writable draft. That's what it needs to be. That's what this garbage is. Other than that, it's the exact same, right? It's got to be. Okay. What's it complaining about now? Oh, it's not returning the board. Huh. I don't understand because the initial state is just an object. So they're like literally just mutating the object, right? But it's a writable draft from Immer. Huh. Not sure how this works. Because it's just a reducer, right? Well, it's updating. Okay, this expects it to be updating. It's not returning anything, and it's okay with that. That's just how Redux Toolkit does it, apparently. I think I should probably import something else from Immer. So I'm going to look at the docs. All right, I was playing with an idea to create a mapper adapter type thing, and Copilot just showed me, oh, you just do this. So yeah, that works. I mean, I kind of figured out that produce would kind of do this, but just didn't put two and two together until Copilot showed me the way. Okay, so this is actually an adapter, and that's the state, and yeah, okay. Huh. All right. Okay, so that is that, and we're now going to also have does it need to be a writable draft? What does that even mean? I don't think it does. Yeah, they were confusing what Immer gives the reducer with what it ends up returning. Or no, maybe I was the one doing that. This is the one. Yeah, writable draft is what it takes through produce. The state is not going to be writable draft. It's just going to be that. Okay. No, I think they were typing this as writable draft, weren't they? Yeah, okay, that's unnecessary. Okay, anyway, so now I have to decide, do I just go ahead and use produce with this too? I don't know. Well, let's compare. First of all, I could just do join adapters here and have this be like extra. Yeah, you know what? That's what I should probably do, right? So I'm going to do, when have I not done join adapters recently? It's kind of funny how every time I just end up going with join adapters. So that's how you close it off, because it's like a builder pattern. So you don't do that. You do this. And add extra actions there, but then you get some default ones here. So let's not have one for board. Actually, no, we want one for board, and it's just going to be, hey, look at that. Copilot. It looked at the suggestions in the cheat sheet. It knows how to do this. Good, finally. Okay. I'm happy with that. Apparently Copilot's not, and why? Or TypeScript isn't. Oh. No. Well, board is a string. Oh, it's highlighting the whole thing. Right, because I'm still writing. Still need to get used to it. Okay. I mean, that was fun. Copilot just wrote everything for me, and it's going to be element or undefined. Okay, so that is the basic. That's going to be, that'll give you this. That'll be set square being dragged. Drag start. Oh, this is the name of the event, the action. This is the name of the state being changed. So set square being dragged. Sure, whatever. Okay, so this is all the state change logic. And we got produce here. This is just basic setting stuff happening here. And we got initial state. That is not there yet. Now we're going to create the store. So the store. Do we still have this? Yes. Okay. Initial state. Adapter. Right. Adapter. Still a little confused. Okay, so these are sources. So this is already good to go. This is the board store. So this altogether is that. Cool, huh? Well, and some of that. Okay, so what were those selectors being defined? Because, let's see, all of these are, let's see, drag. I'm going to comment these out because knowing the event name is actually really helpful for this. So, yeah. But what did this used to be? Use, we didn't really have any selectors here. Not really. I don't know where they define their selectors. It probably comes default with create slice somehow. I don't know. Okay, so something that is boilerplate about React or Redux that wasn't, or used to be a requirement with StateAdapt is to have an independent event source. But now there are some default events that are created as part of this. And I guess it's kind of like this, but they're not named. I mean, they're just named by what they do instead of like the name of the event, like drag start. So, but it'll still be pretty straightforward. So where this is referenced and used is in the tile component. So now instead of dispatch, it's going to be, yeah, none of these. Board store. This is going to be, let's see, let's get rid of that one and then do board store dot set square being dragged. Sure it is. What was it before? I mean, there's nothing before, but this is literally what it's going to be. It's going to be setting that just like here. Any. Oh, okay. So I'm just going to do as element. Yeah, maybe this might be part of the bug. There are some bugs in this app, but I don't know. I'm just going to implement it the same way they did for now. Okay, prevent default. That sounds pretty good. On drop. And then we do on drop. Drag drop square being replaced. Set square being replaced. Drag in. Oh, it's an entire thing. Okay. So, yes. Board store. Set square being replaced. There's no check on what it can be. So it's kind of funny. Okay, so yeah, it produces a weird behavior in the game where you can match anything anywhere. Okay, so on drag end, it's going to be drag end. Okay, that is part of the store, so do the same thing. What? It requires a payload? Produce? Did you create that? No? I think produce did. Payload any. Oh. It's because well, it's not being used, but we're going to send null in just to make TypeScript happy, but it's just with the combination with produce. It's, yeah. What just happened? Well, it's produce that's being weird. Wait, is it really? Yeah, it doesn't know how to infer this correctly. So let's say this did have a second argument as like an action. Let's do payload string. Well, that screwed up a lot. Yeah, we'd have to wrap this in a separate thing because produce, yeah, it doesn't take in a second argument, I don't think. Yeah. Okay, well, it's good enough how it is. And null, yeah, it's just, I mean, how often am I going to run this? Probably, maybe more than I want. I don't think the advantages of Immer are enough to justify the extra complexity. But I don't know. I feel like the React community is like a really big history of really optimizing on top of acceptable APIs to the point that complexity stacks on top of complexity. But that's kind of not a terrible thing. It's just kind of how things have been. Okay, we don't need that. Is there any state that we're using in here? I don't see any state. Oh yeah, tile. Tile is just dumb. So, yeah, I got rid of 3 lines of code. Wow. Okay. This is a really small app, actually, so this is fine. Okay, now we're getting somewhere interesting. So we got board and board size. Oh, man. I'm so excited to use this. Finally. Okay, so get rid of that. More unnecessary typings. But anyway, so we got board states. I'm going to call it board states. Use store. And what are you going to come up with for me? Nope. Board store, obviously. And then we're going to have board size. That's the right thing. And board states dot board. Okay. And where did that all come from? That came from join adapters, because join adapters creates a selector for each of these properties. You could also just define it yourself, sort of like they did inline here, wherever it went. Yeah, they used to have that there. Yep, kind of an inline selector. It's fine, but not great. It's kind of, well, it does do memoization, so yeah. So does this, but you have to define the selector already. But anyway, if we wanted to, we could just do board and board size. Yeah, we could have just done that. The thing is, though, if you do this, it immediately evaluates these selectors. Whereas with this, if you have something hidden in a condition or something, it won't evaluate it unless it needs it. But that doesn't matter. Good enough. Okay, so there's that. I think I'm done using these. Yeah, update board, self-explanatory. Okay. So there's that. Now let's see what the difference in file size is for that. Don't need the cheat sheet import. Don't need that stuff. Yep, should be good now. So that is 4 lines of code less. Yeah, big deal. Well, I think that's pretty good, considering we only touched a few lines of code. We'll see in the final stats, but anyway. We're going to make things more reactive soon with the last remaining file to update. Because this, oh, hey, look, this again. Cool. Same thing. All right, so now we get to go to this. Man, so far I'm liking this API. This is what I'm testing. That's a pretty okay API. So import StateAdapt, whatever. Got the board slice. What's the oh, duplicate. Okay. Pretty awesome. How did they do it? They had a space between. Okay, I'll keep the space between. Don't need dispatch. Oh, I hate this. No, why? Update board, create board, dispatch. When these things change, it's so hard to actually follow what's happening here. At least for me, I'm not used to this, but at the same time, this is so much nested stuff. When does this happen? Why does it happen? Can it be simpler? Okay, these aren't things anymore either. Can this be initial state? Please. Please be initial state. Where does that even come from? So you can't do that because, yeah, board size 8. This needs to be initial state. This is not reactive. Okay, so we create board. We create board. This is duplicate state, isn't it? It's pointless. When do we update this? When do we actually update board size? Let's see. We use it in board. Yeah, this is derived state. So this is going to be a selector. That makes it more reactive. It's not part of state. It's not part of state. Is it ever used up here? I bet it is. Yep. Yep, it is. Why isn't this const? Okay. It's just the length, right? No, it's the square root. So size. Let me think about this. It doesn't really hurt to keep in state. It's redundant, but it requires a calculation that's unnecessary. And yeah, you would recalculate it every time because the board reference is always changing. I don't really care that much about this. But yeah, board initial state should definitely be that. And then we can get rid of this side effect. I say side effect like it's a horrific thing because it is. Unnecessary side effects are terrible. Okay, so that simplifies things. You just start with a board. And are there any disadvantages of that? Well, board size. When do you update the board size? Never. You might as well just update the board at the same time. If you do. Okay, so this is where it gets weird. Because we have two things that need to happen in response to an event. This is an event. This is not unidirectional. This is two things firing off and updating state. So how do we get rid of this? Because one easy thing to do would be create a single event. And the way that would look is we'd put the state changes, they need to happen. But the thing is, these have to happen sequentially, right? So how do we do that? Well, I think I have an idea. Create a new state change. So this will have selectors, reactions, so everything defined up to now has access to. And we will call this, we can do all of this work in here. What is this? What is the state change name? There's a lot of stuff happening here. It could be erase matches and shift tiles. That is what I'm going to call it. It's long, but it's complicated, so it deserves a good name. Erase matches and shift tiles. Okay, let's just calm down here. We're going to take in state, of course. No payload necessary, I don't think. But let's see, update board and move below. Okay, these are state changes, so do this. So we got new board, state.board. Let's just do this. Const board. This highlighting is it's the cost of type inference. It's really mad until it actually returns state. So I'm just gonna return state. All right, now we can focus on what we're doing. Okay, so we got board size, new board, board size. Hey, these are already imported in here. That's nice. Oh, because it's used in one of these things. Okay, so what we're going to do, we have to do two things. We're going to move below First, we're going to update the board, which is obviously, I mean, that's just going to be part of what we return. Oh, wait, update board means something specific here, doesn't it? No, it's just setting the board. I remember now. Okay, so we're not even using Immer. That's pretty crazy. Board. New board. What? Oh, of course. And then move below. Now, move below is something that happens here. And what does it affect? The thing is, I don't know and I don't really care. I'm just going to, so we got new board. Move below. So reactions.move below is where we get the new state from. Okay, so we got new board. Oh, so we can just directly call this then. Move below. And there's the new state to do that on. Okay? Require 4 arguments. Frickin' produce. It turns this into a generic reaction. It doesn't know what this is. It's too complicated. And so if we want to have it really infer everything correctly, we would have to there? No, I don't think so. I think like that. Isn't that what we do? Produce. I mean, it should return a function, right? Yeah, it should return the actual function. What does this return? This is, man, Immer's types are really confusing. Okay, let's just do this. This is going to be state. And what does this turn into? That's pretty simple. Oh, it returns writable draft. Let's look at the documentation real quick and make sure we're not missing something from Immer. We're missing something. We need the state in the first argument. So. Okay. What? Yeah, there we go. Okay. And now this isn't even angry because now it's inferring the correct thing. I think I'm going to go ahead and keep that. I think I'm even going to change this. Just because it makes it better. You notice TypeScript is starting to kind of be a little delayed here. Takes about 1.5 seconds to infer stuff now, so it's because there's a lot going on here. A lot of inference. That's StateAdapt relies on inference heavily. If you want to make it go faster, you can always explicitly type things. That makes it go faster. But it's like this is a particularly complicated one because of produce, but I'm also wondering if maybe produce is something I'm going to always run into. Yeah, well, I don't care. This is not nearly as complex as a lot of the Angular things I've done. So I'll keep trying React projects and see how this goes. But it's never a problem on the Angular side. So it shouldn't be a problem on the React side. But I've been wrong before. Okay. Oh, this is only a single state change now, which is good. But when does this happen? When does this happen? Every time the board changes, we're going to wait 150 milliseconds. So, and we're debouncing because we're clearing the timeout from before. All right, I'm good to go. Whoa. Okay. Okay, now we need to create a source. So this is the adapter, and then we got the store. We're going to create a source. So what is this source going to do? Well, it's going to watch state, and every time board changes, it's going to debounce time, and then it's just going to trigger this to happen. This doesn't take any payload, so yeah, all right, so board changed, debounce 150. Watch, and hey, that is not correct. Let's see. Adapter. We're just going to do dot. Oh, we need to import watch from, where's this coming from? Should be from here. Okay, from our file. That's a good guess. Not really, but let's see. Board dot pipe debounce time. That is what we want. RxJS debounce. Pretty simple. And to source. This needs to be marked as a source for Redux DevTools, and we're going to have it be the same as this. So it's easy to see. Okay. That wasn't too hard. What's going on here? Oh, we improved type inference, so now we don't need to pass null for no reason. Okay. That's done. Okay, now, so this is all complex stuff. This is what used to be that, and initial state is that. So how reactive is this? This is very reactive, but it's not perfectly reactive because we're still imperatively here. We're imperatively commanding the store to change. So ideally, we could have something like, this is me going the extra mile with reactivity, but we would have, let's see, set square being replaced. See, it's annoying because it does type inference, but it only recognizes it as soon as you complete it. Anyway, so this would be from event, from RxJS, and then you select this element, give it an ID. It's going to be a class name actually, but it'll have a target associated with it, just like this. And then you do toSource, and there you go. The board is completely self-determined. So that's actually declarative. And so here, it's no opinions. It just is what it is. The board is what it is. Everything is what it is. That's declarative programming. So that's completely reactive. But the problem is that's not type safe. So that's something I'm still thinking about. But anyway, this should be done. Let's see if it actually works. Well, it loaded. That's a good sign. That functioned correctly. Man, I suck at this game. That worked. That worked. I love working on these game projects because it makes me a gamer, YouTuber, a live stream YouTube not live stream. Whatever. I give up on what I was saying. It wasn't that interesting. Okay. I think it's working. It'll still have the same bug as before. Look at that. That's still there somehow. I don't know. I don't know how this game normally works, but that bug is definitely the same. Oh, there's one. Yeah, it seems to be working exactly how it was. So let's look at Redux. I don't have to do anything extra to configure Redux, do I? No, I don't. So where did Redux go? Where did Redux go? I'm using the default. Let me check this out. Oh, here's how I define it. I don't have the types, the sanitizer stuff. So let's search in this folder and see if I'm doing it anywhere in here. State sanitizer. Core. Why core? Oh, it's replace. Okay. Yeah, I'm not using the state sanitizer. So this is where I would need to do the state sanitizer. So actually, let's put that back. Oops. Keep searching. No, just, okay. Search. Oh, I erased it wrong. Okay. So now, let's see, where are DevTools? Well, this is close enough. Okay. Import. No suggestions. Yeah, TypeScript sucks at doing those shorthand imports from core. Yes, it knows. Very wise. Copilot knows everything. So there. This is why I do these projects. Now we'll have, by default, Redux DevTools will just activate if the extension exists. So since it doesn't, I'm just going to enable it temporarily on this project, but I'm not going to include it in the lines of code because that's just a silly mistake. So yeah, so here, okay, default state adapt. Where is it? Oh, it's in context. Did we need this? I don't think we even needed this to be in context, but it's fine in context. So we're going to call this just StateAdapt, and it doesn't know how. So import. Can you get it? Nope. Configure StateAdapt. Good guess. It's actually RxJS. Import. Oh, it got it, and not there. Oops. There we go. No, not there either. RxJS. No, core. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so now we're going to be using those and not that. Okay. Which means it's probably better to just import this from the store, actually. I mean, I don't think I actually need this. Close, but no. We weren't importing. Okay. Yeah, it's probably good to import this from your own file. I forgot about that. Okay, save that formatting. Okay. Okay, now let's see what we have. Redux. Hey, it should have shown up anyway, right? It crashed. Oh, wait, I already do this, I think. In configure StateAdapt. Yes. I define this as a default if you don't pass options in. And also, well, where? Hang on. I don't think I knew this, but I'm going to double check by quitting this and restarting, and Redux should come back. There it is. Redux. And the reason is because, right, it just initted. No, ooh, What's going on? That wasn't there before. So it's the way I configured it, because apparently if I just use default again, it's here and it's working. This is bugging me. Like, why is this running all the time? The board isn't changing. Yeah, it's the reaction. It says states are equal, but the reference is changing, obviously. Oh, I see where this is happening. So every time it's just creating a new board. So I'm gonna do a stupid just imperative flag here. So let change equals fault. This is going the extra mile because they didn't do this, but changed equals changed, or what? This returns Boolean. Or undefined. Oh, okay. My bad. As Boolean or undefined. Ooh, that was not TypeScript. That was Copilot. Really gonna do this? Increases the line count. And then changed. New board. Else board. Okay, let's see if that prevents it from running like crazy. Hey, I think it did. Look at this. Bunch of changes there. And then silence. Then we do this. Ah! What is this? When did this start happening? It was working. Weird thing is the game is just actually functioning. Max is 4 that you can do. I don't know if that's real in the game, but yeah, it looks like it's working fine. Just has... Yeah, this is weird. What is this? What is this? What is that selector? What? Empty string. What is that? Oh, I think this is the destructuring thing. Right. Oh, that sucks. Okay. This is in the component. So no, you can't do that. You have to do it like this because this is actually a proxy. How could I forget about that? It's a proxy object. I wish TypeScript could tell you it was a proxy object, but it's a proxy object. I knew it was. I mentioned it. And I just didn't. What the? Okay. All better. All not better. What the? Why? What is happening again still? Window, same thing. To JSON. These are properties of the proxy object. Why is it looping through these and trying to find all of... Why is it getting all of these? Where is it getting this from? Where is it trying to... This is so weird. Did the server update? Board size. Looks good so far. Board. Hey, that's that component. board size, board. It's when you drag and drop. So this is all good. It's just when you drag. Okay. Weird. Window. This is weird. Gotta look into this. Well, this sucks. I don't know what the problem is. So, once again, I have to stop because it's getting late. And these days, I have a job. So, like a regular full-time job. It's kind of weird. So, I'll see you tomorrow, I guess. But what do I have left to do? After I fix this bug, I mean, the behavior is actually working, so I don't really know what I need to fix, but I mean, I want the console logs to go away. But so far, this has been no problem, this app. The Immer stuff was the weird part, but other than that, it's working well. So it's basically just time to compare. And you know what? Here's a fun thing. Assume I'm going to fix this bug, okay? You probably don't even care what causes it. It's going to be something dumb, but one thing I am noticing that might be relevant is when you useStore, if state changes for any reason, this component's going to re-render. State from this specific store. So if your stores are big, it'll cause a lot of re-rendering. You can also use observable and grab what you want, and that will be the board. So yeah, you can do it two ways. So board size and so you can just do it this way. This will work. Okay. It could be undefined. Well, no, it can't. No, it can't. Because we are amazing developers. Okay. So, what? Oh, turns out that was important. Let's just do it the correct way. The correct way. I don't even care what this is. You know, this should let you pass in initial state here. Okay. Refresh. There we go. And do we get the error still? No. So less re-rendering and all that stuff. So maybe use observable is a good way to consume state in this. I really liked that proxy thing I came up with. I thought it was more React friendly, but you know what? This is like useSelector, so maybe this is fine. So anyway, I'm going to add these things to the changes, and then I'm going to do like a get stat thing and go ahead and look at the results. And I'll fix that bug on my own time, but on my own time, not on my paid by YouTube time, which I'm not being paid at all. Oh, wow. Okay, 60 insertions, 88 deletions. And this is just the stuff I just did. So, yeah, that makes sense. That's probably pretty much all of it. Making it more reactive. Because other than that, I think I probably added, no added there. A little bit less here. Wait a sec. it's not counting everything. It can't be, because this is a huge difference. Did I add a ton more here? Oh, apparently I did. Okay, it is counting everything. I didn't add any files, so yeah, this shouldn't be too surprising, I guess. Yeah, okay. So we'll go with that. 68 insertions, 88 deletions. What's the percent on that? That's about 23% less code. I think that's what the result was. Yeah, 23% less. Okay, so 23% less code. And the big thing was, well, getting rid of unnecessary side effects. And then inside the slice thing itself, this junk was, well, it became, oh, you know, I did an extra optimization. I should get rid of this extra optimization just to make it fair. How many lines did that change? I can just figure it out from here. 159. And if we get rid of this extra stuff, we're back down to, okay, so 3 lines of code. Well, still, percent will be updated. So it was 23 less, 26% less code. All right, it's making me feel really good. Okay, well, it's Redux toolkit. So yeah, it's supposed to be like really concise compared to Redux, but one of the big things is the join adapters thing is really cool. Gives you automatic state change functions built in here, because some of these things are so boring. They're literally just setting a property. And actually that's kind of what a lot of state changes. So a lot of what state changes are. Yeah. So that was a difference. And I think another difference was getting rid of that side effect that didn't need to be a side effect. Oh, I never got rid of this either. Default works. I remember default works. So okay, now we're going to actually do a fair comparison. 57 versus 89. 89, oh, deletions. Part of the change. Okay, let's see what that was. That's 36%. So that actually makes a difference. And the assumption is that I'm just going to fix this. So, yeah. Yeah, well, that's not running, but it works. I love whatever's making this fast. Anyway, what? Oh, default state. We want default. Yeah, we're going back to this. We never needed the other thing. Oh. Fine, we'll import it from there. Take off another line of code. Why not? 33 less. 37%. Okay, 37% less code. What were the other differences? Oh yeah, this is what I was thinking of. This is basically the Redux boilerplate, and I think this is where most of the difference should come from. So 10 lines of code here, something like that. 20 apparently. 20 lines of code there. Maybe like 5 here. No, like 10 here. So that's 20. No, 30 total. And then extra. Yeah, this seems about right. 3 lines of code less here for this configuration stuff. So that's basically where the difference came from. Yeah. So in smaller projects, the difference will be bigger relatively, because this boilerplate you only need to do once, wherever it went. Yeah, this thing with Redux. It does grow, but not very much, especially if you're lazy loading. I hope that's a thing in React. I hope people lazy load in React. I haven't seen really any sign of that, but anyway, yeah. So, lessons learned from my first project converting Redux Toolkit to StateAdapt. It wasn't too bad. It was a little weird at first, putting my syntax in here where I've really never done it in a real project before. Not that this is a real project, but it was pretty easy. The Immer part was annoying to deal with, but in the end, it's just functions, so that wasn't too bad either. Making it more reactive makes it easier to follow what's happening, way easier. And you don't necessarily need to involve re-rendering, which is nice because RxJS gets the RxJS gets the update and it sets state, and that doesn't re-render any components unless they're using that state. And then I have to look into my bug with useStore with the proxy thing. At this point, though, I'm kind of questioning. I think it's good syntax if you're doing useAdapt, because you're creating a store in the component, and it does seem like boilerplate to be doing the useObservable thing over and over again for all the properties there. But if you're doing the store in the component, you don't care if the component re-renders whenever the state re-renders, because the state only re-renders when the component changes it. So it really makes sense. The component's not going to be over-rendering when you're doing useStore, when you're using the proxy method, so the proxy approach. So maybe I will recommend, instead of doing useStore for components, maybe it should be useObservable if the store is created outside. But that is annoying because it's a syntactic dead end. Like if you depend on useAdapt and you're creating the store in the component and you're using state as if it's state instead of an observable, it's just extra boilerplate when you move it outside the component. But if the store really is outside the component, you probably will just want to use specific observables in order to not render too much. So, that's some stuff to think about. Good thing I didn't delete useObservable. I almost did. I should also give you a way to define initial state with it, because it's kind of annoying how it is. Yeah, with the undefined. Yeah, so I have some things to look into. But overall, this went, I don't know, slightly better than I thought it would go, probably. I thought it could be a lot worse, and I thought it could be a lot better, but it was slightly better than my average expectation. So I'm happy, but annoyed. All right, well, thanks for watching. I will be doing more of these because React is an interesting framework to be doing this stuff in. All right, bye. Hey, this is me the next day. I just wanted to quickly explain what that bug was, the console errors. Yeah, so this was actually really weird and interesting to figure out. I eventually traced it to Redux DevTools, where it was trying to access properties on my proxy object that is returned from useStore. And it turns out that it was trying to serialize a React element. And yeah, we saw that. That was the no serialize or serialize whatever option they passed into Redux middleware. And basically, when you try to serialize a React element, you put it in state in the store, that element has connections to everything. I was looking in there, and it's got references to my file path that the project's in, It's got references to parent components, all the hooks, all the state inside them. So yeah, when it tries to serialize that, it was accessing the memo that the proxy was stored in, and it was trying to serialize it. So that's why that happened. So don't serialize React elements. Don't do it. But I also added an if condition to my hook that returns undefined if you try to access a property that doesn't exist, a selector that doesn't exist. So that should basically fix that problem. So yeah, don't do the serialization, but if you do, my hook won't console log 100 times. So all right, that's it.